Are you tired of this happening? Well, I can change that. Hello everyone, welcome to Sport Mode. This will be the first in a series of how to get good in Sport Mode and to stop dying. Without further ado, let's get right into it. First things first, this is my dojo, my rules. So you're going to need to turn all your strength down to 1, all your speed down to 1, all your jump down to 1, and normalize gravity and bring slow motion up to 0.5. After that, you can have no infinite health, no infinite ammo, no infinite ability, no jetpack, and no time stop, no heuristic bullets, and no limited stamina. And turn dismemberment on. Today in this episode, we're going to be covering the very basics with just your hands. Trust me, after this, you'll become just as strong as you were with all these on. So let's start with the basics. Your hands. You can do a lot of things with just your hands. You can take on the entire world with just your basic hands. Let's prove our point with our little friend Miss Melee right here. First things first, what you want to do is squat down, grab him on these parts, and then lift them up. Boom. Now, you can go ahead, grab him, and lift him up. You have acquired a dummy. Now this guy, he can't get up unless he touches the floor, like so. He'll begin this get up animation. You don't want that to happen. You don't want him to get up and for him to start punching. Now, you can take him to a wall. Now, you can proceed to slam said head against said wall, and it'll to kill him. Now, let's rewind. Now, there are multiple things you can do while this dummy is in a vulnerable state. Option 1. You can go around the side and knock him down again. Option 2, you can pick him up and slam him down. Option 3, you can punch him while he's down repeatedly until he dies. And there's a fourth option involving a glitch. Proceed to do the same thing and then pick him up by his thighs. This will cause his legs to shoot off from his body, causing him to die most of the time. Use full advantage of that when dealing with hordes of dummies, as you can insta-kill them and disable them quickly. Speaking of disabling, there are multiple ways of disabling dummies' individual body parts. An easy way to show you a disabled body part is with the hatchet. Now, a disabled body part will appear as limp, and it will not act accordingly to the dummy's wishes. So, a dummy with a disabled body part is practically useless. So take full advantage of dummies with disabled body parts. So let's start off with a disabled arm. A disabled arm means a dummy has no way of attacking with that hand. What that means is if he's disabled both arms, then that means the dummy has no way of attacking, which means it is a free kill. Now, a dummy with a disabled leg won't be able to get up because that leg won't function as normally, and it has a chance of causing an explosion. So that means if you disable a dummy's legs, then they have no way of getting up and are unable to move, thus a free kill. So take note, as disabled arms and legs pose as a major victory to you. So take full advantage of disabled robots. And of course, the head can become disabled too. But with the head disabled, it means the whole thing will die. So if you disable the head, the whole thing will die. So disabling the head is almost the most important thing to taking out one of these. So let's use our skills to tackle a dummy. First things first, grab by the legs, flip them up, instant stun. Look at that, a disabled hand. Second thing second, grab his legs to explode them. We have disabled legs. After that, use one of our methods to execute the dummy. Slam his head against the wall, and the dummy is no more. Let's move on to the harder type of dummies, the shooter. First things first, you can block bullets with your hands. Since they don't act as your body, they do not take damage in any way. Simply point your hand in the general direction of its gun, and you will be able to block bullets efficiently. Another thing to note is that shooter dummies always fire at 2-second intervals. Take advantage of that to quickly dodge in between the patterns. Once you get close to a shooter dummy, it will engage in melee combat. Use your hands to push the shooter dummy away as you tackle one of our 4 disabling methods. Lift them up, grab them always down, and perform in execution. Now, there are multiple other ways to knock the dummy down via pushing and a strong punch. Use these effectively. Now, slow-mo will deal extra damage, and if used at its maximum efficiency, can become sort of a tactical damage mode. These also slow down the shooter's interval time, so that means you can go ahead and sneak up on them and deal effective damage and knock them down. Try to prioritize ripping their head off if you are in a difficult situation which you cannot execute effectively, such as this. You can also find ways to sneak up on dummies and execute them effectively via grabbing their heads and knocking them to the floor, or snapping their necks. Use these effectively as you become a very strong opponent to your enemies with just your hands. Next up, we will be covering melee weapons in another episode. That will be it for today's episode of Sport Mode. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to stay tuned for more updates. And I'll see you next time.